A good instructor to me is someone who has an open mind and who's willing to learn from the students as much as the students want to learn from them.
A good instructor is really conscious of what they say and what they do and their actions.
Their real test is to be able to make their students feel welcome, which is through understanding what different scenarios are, what different viewpoints are.
They need to understand that not everyone feels welcome. If an instructor uses a certain word, for example, if we're not using gender inclusive or gender neutral language, a person who does not identify as their biological sex may not feel comfortable being in that classroom.
I think that diversity is understanding that everyone has a different lived experience. You have to understand the intersections of race, gender, class, sexuality to make that a better environment for those students.
I would always want my instructors to be sensitive about diversity because you never know what statement they make may offend someone, or it may end up touching on something that is really sensitive.
For a student to learn and be successful, they need to feel accepted and welcome in that classroom. And if an instructor isn't using the right language or is excluding a group of people, even by mistake, that can really affect the learning in that environment in the classroom.
And so it's important to be aware of the student-teacher relationships and the responsibilities that we have to one another. And a great part of that is making sure that your classroom is one that is inclusive.
One instructor that I had that did a really good job in the beginning of class passed out anonymous surveys asking students how would you like this class to be presented? Is there anything that I should be aware of? And I think that really helped students who didn't necessarily feel comfortable going up to the instructor and telling them or outing themselves or telling them things that they didn't want to share with anyone else.
If the first statement on the first day of class is, if anyone has anyone to tell me or different learning styles or learning ability, please come talk to me privately or send me an email. And that instructor just bringing that up immediately sets the pace for an inclusive environment.
I would really like someone to know my pronouns so that I feel safe in that space.
And that's what a good instructor does, that makes them feel safe.
It might not always be safe. Learning isn't always safe, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't strive to have a classroom environment in which people feel safe enough to engage the material and push the boundaries.
So one of the best instructors I ever had started off really strong, and from there it only got better. On the first day, he made it really clear that he wanted to have a safe, inclusive environment in the classroom. And he did that by establishing some ground rules, which was first really important, but secondly, he opened up about himself, and that's something that instructors almost never do.
I feel that Davis is very sensitive. It's a lot more open than different campuses I've gone to, and I like that a lot.
When instructors are sensitive to diversity issues, the climate of the classroom can be changed in extraordinary ways.
People have that passion to be inclusive and to make sure that everybody feels welcome.
There's so much we can learn from one another. And when we have conversations about inclusive classrooms and diversity, it's saying that we understand the world is big and we want to know about it.
I think Davis is a great place to study. There's a lot of people from everywhere, a lot of languages, lots of cultures, a lot of diversity. And I feel that as diverse as we are, it's great that we're able to make room for everybody.